Fight Through It. Written by, what's this? Weiss? Did I write a book? So guys, the answer is, in fact, I have written a book. I've been working on this book for the past 4.5 years now. I started writing this back in, I want to say, November of 2019, possibly October at that time. So now, 4.5 years ago, I decided that I was going to write a book. Well, not exactly. Actually, I decided to start writing about my experiences, having gone through a life-threatening illness, followed by a subsequent healing journey, which I'm still on, as well as many of the countless lessons that I've actually learned along the way. And I wasn't really sure where this was all heading. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, but all I knew is that I had a powerful story to tell, and I really wanted to express myself and get everything out there on paper, or the computer in this case.
Putting the photo out there on the line.
Is it online?
Yeah, I'm putting my photos out on the line.
Then, the more work I started to put into it, the more excited I started to get about writing this, and the more I realized how powerful my story actually was. And it occurred to me that this was going to be my book. So now, 4.5 years later,
so much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
And after having gone through significant challenges in these past few weeks even, with trying to actually release this book, with challenge after challenge, with everything going wrong that could have possibly gone wrong, and everything to add stress onto me, I persevered in my own fight through it type of way, following the motto of the book, and I'm pleased to say, it's done.
Dun, 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 can't touch this.
I poured my heart and soul into this, every raw emotion I could possibly get. I reached deep within me, covered some of the most difficult experiences I've been through, and found the light within them, and pulled out as many life lessons as I could possibly get. And now I'm here to help you guys with the final product. Keep in mind though, it's not going to be saying not for resale on the copy that you guys are going to hopefully be getting. The only reason why it says that on here is because it's actually the proof copy, so this is what was sent to me that I had to approve of. Anyways, in today's video, I'm going to be diving into what you guys need to know as far as my book goes, and all the reasons why you guys are going to want to buy this as soon as possible, and why this book could actually change your life if you're open to it. Let's get to it now. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Jared and James channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know that, miss me now, subscribe to the channel so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. Follow me on every platform. Make sure to follow my other YouTube channel, The Rabbit Hole Roundup. Make sure to follow this channel. Make sure to follow all my social media because I'm everywhere and I'm working hard to provide value and to make a positive impact onto every one of your lives. So now, the first place I want to start when it comes to my book is I'm going to first read to you guys the description that I actually have on Amazon as well as Ingram Sparks, I believe, which is supposed to entice you guys to get excited and to want to buy the book.
I'm ready!
So now, this is the story of my life and how I overcame a life-threatening illness, my path to healing, as well as what I've learned throughout my journey, most notably that nothing worth having comes easy, as I actually aptly wore this shirt today that says champion state of mind, nothing easy, and that there is divine meaning and purpose in everything. In 2014, I went from what I thought was a healthy college student to ending up in a coma and in a hospital bed, not knowing what would come next. I had always been someone who worked hard on myself and towards my goals. However, this was about putting that strong mindset into action. Being someone who was very interested in health, a dedicated athlete for my whole life, this of course was a huge shock and didn't make sense to me, as I'm sure going through this type of experience wouldn't make sense to a lot of you. But I knew that God wouldn't give me more than I could handle, and that I was going to be tougher than my life was. One day at a time, one step at a time, I began my healing journey. Nothing worth having comes easy, and you don't climb a mountain overnight, so this is where I started learning many lessons about myself, others, and the way the world works, which I am going to impart to you throughout the book. I start back at my early childhood and work my way up to where I am today, at 27 years young. I take you guys through my various journeys as a lifelong athlete with massive goals and an undying work ethic, where in spite of my perceived limitations, I was going to prove everyone who doubted me wrong and prove myself right. I include the importance of who I surround myself with and all the people who've meant the world to me, because I wouldn't be where I am today without them. I can honestly say that. In addition, I was also able to unravel some of the mystery of what caused my illness, of what caused my life-threatening illness, as well as understand how our bodies heal. My research about holistic health and guidance by some of the best practitioners out there is all included, and I relay this information to you, the reader. I also include some deep rabbit holes, hard truths that I've gone down, if you follow my truther content on social media, you're already familiar with all these beliefs. But the reason for this is to show you the most important aspects that have been hidden from you are actually your own divinity and how special you are. It is more important now than ever to be questioning everything and to be thinking for yourself. Above all, you are not some insignificant speck of dust, but rather are here for a reason and are a divine, eternal, spiritual being who chose to be here at this time. By reading this story, I hope you were able to understand that anything is possible and that this life is what you make of it. This is a super positive and uplifting and at times very emotional story that I hope will raise your spirits. This is a reminder that life may not always be easy and it may not always go as you planned, but if you believe as I do now that everything happens for a reason, it will be better and more fulfilling than you ever could possibly imagined. So what do you guys think of that as a description? I think it's pretty powerful. Now something else like I also want to cover in this video is how initially I wanted everything to be perfect by the time the book came out. I thought the perfect story would be when I was fully healed and I got my first dunk on 10 feet. I accomplished all of my big massive goals, but then over time what I actually realized is that my story is super valuable as is, and it made me more valuable while I'm still going through it, because this way when I ultimately do achieve all my massive goals, you guys will clearly be able to see how I got there.
I think that.
And you'll actually be able to have experienced part of the struggle with me. Anyone could just say, oh, this is how I got there, once they've already done it. But like, it takes a special person to actually believe it when they're not there yet, I think. My story is super valuable even as a work in progress. But of course, I've also made so much progress over the past few years. I've made countless discoveries, I've hit tons of milestones that doctors or other people would have told me was impossible. I mean, just a few short years ago, I was only able to eat 2 foods and digest them somewhat properly, but like everything was miserable. My health was in a state of disarray and everything was going bad, but like now look at me a few years later. I'm still not there yet, I'm still not fully healed, I still have my challenges, but like I can eat basically any food. My energy levels have improved drastically. I'm a better athlete and stronger than I've ever been in my whole life. Even while still being on my healing journey, I've touched a 10-foot rim numerous times. I've gotten to understanding my body better. I've evolved spiritually, mentally, physically, and also truthfully. Those massive goals may even be accomplished by the time you guys are reading this book.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's no way of knowing, because my big breakthrough could be right around the corner. It could happen tomorrow, it could be a week from now, it could be a month from now. And even if I'm not there yet by the time you guys are reading this book, you can clearly see the path to how I'll get there, and to how I got there if I'm there by the time you guys are reading this. It'll be so easy to see, and you guys will be able to connect the dots and be like, oh, he did this, this, and that, and that's how he reached this goal. So therefore, if I'm someone who's on my own journey to these massive goals, I could get there too. So like, that's definitely one of my main takeaways I want you guys to hopefully take away from this book, is that I want to show you guys everything that I've been through and everything that like I've overcame, and I want you guys to be able to believe in yourselves too. And realize that if I, who's had some of the hardest obstacles that anyone out there has ever had, could achieve this, still be this awesome person who's achieving things that most people would have said was impossible, then you guys could do it too.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
And as far as I see it, my story is essentially perfectly imperfect. I'm right where I'm meant to be, I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I just have to keep trusting the process and appreciating where I'm at, and loving my life as is. And then, slowly but surely, I'm going to keep on progressing in all the areas where I'm not there yet. Now, another powerful point I want to address in this video is that I took a vision and turned it into a reality.
I put the hinges in the boy's hands. You could put the hinges on the hands too.
I mean, a lot of people talk about writing a book. A lot of people could say, yeah, you know, I'm going to have a book published. I'm going to write a book now. But like, how many people actually follow through with that? How many people have the patience, the work ethic, and the belief in themselves that like they could write a book, work in it for 4.5 years, and ultimately get it published? Or in my case, ultimately self-publish it? I don't think a lot of people have that level of patience, diligence, and belief in themselves to make something like that happen. So like, writing a book in and of itself, I think, is a huge accomplishment.
I do what I can.
And especially while still going through many of my challenges on a daily basis, follow through with this, I think is super special in and of itself. I mean, it took me over 7 drafts to ultimately get the book that I wanted. And the writing process itself was actually very cathartic, it was very healing. Especially having gone through all these major health challenges and having gone through tons of emotional trauma over these past few years and throughout my life actually, being able to express my thoughts about everything was actually very healing in and of itself. It was powerful, it was tough at times, it was emotionally challenging, but also like having my family and friends and like my powerful inner circle to get me through it showed me who was really there for me as well. and served as a powerful reminder to me to who I actually want in my life and to who actually belongs in my innermost circle. Something else that actually happens to be very interesting and funny also. So like James, my best friend and also co-creator of this channel, actually came up with the title of the book right through it. I want to say probably in 2020. I don't remember what month it was, but like I was talking to him about having started writing the book, and I was talking about my vision, like for where I wanted it all to go, what I saw like as the ultimate end result, what I wanted to achieve from this, what I wanted the reader to be able to attain from this, and we started talking about titles. So like he says to me, the best titles for a book are short, sweet, and powerful, and can really pack a punch, essentially. I may be paraphrasing his words, sorry James, but he was saying to me how 3 or 4 words get to the point right away. So then like he just like suggested, what about Fight Through It? And I thought about it, and like that was actually the perfect title. It encompassed everything I wanted to, and I think it's very inspiring, it's enticing, it draws your interest right away. So you guys can thank James for coming up with the title.
I said you could thank me later. It's later, Bert.
Thank you, James. He'll be back on the channel soon enough. That title just like stuck for the past 4 years. Very clever, very well thought out. Next up, another point I wanted to address is I'm very proud of myself for having done this all my way. I could have sold my vision out to a publisher, I could have hired people to do certain parts for me, and I do want to make sure to thank my mom so much for being an angel and for being the best editor, co-editor when it came to writing this book. I couldn't have done this without her. I couldn't have done this without my best friends also giving me support along the way. But I could have very easily sold my vision to a publisher. I could have hired all these other people to do the writing for me. And also keep in mind, this isn't me saying like there's anything wrong with having a publisher. I actually strongly considered it, but then like I realized how I wanted to do everything my way.
Now I know what I've been looking for all these years. Myself.
Because that's just like who I am. That's just like my personality. I don't like outsourcing whenever possible. I like to see it as if I could get it done better than anyone else, then like why not just do it myself? Because I'm going to trust myself and I'm going to rely on myself more than anyone else is going to be able to do a better job than me. Because also like especially in this case, who could write my story better than me? Who could use the exact words that I want to express myself? No one. And sometimes when you have like a publisher, you may actually have to change some words, you may have to change some aspects of your book in order to make it more, I guess you'd say, public friendly. But like, I didn't want that, especially because I have some hard truths in the book, I have some rabbit holes I go down, and I have some strong beliefs. And I didn't want to have to compromise for anyone, because I'm not someone who likes compromise. I'm obviously a very nice guy, but like, I don't like to compromise who I am, I don't like to compromise my principles, and like, I definitely do not want to compromise my vision for what I wanted this book to become. So as I said, I realized like when I want something done, I'm going to be the best person to do it. When I can understand the ins and outs of every process, say what I want, design the cover how I want, front and back cover, which I think are both awesome. I want all of the creative rights and all the creative ideas to be my own. Also, on the back cover, I actually have like another little description where I say, learn about how a life-threatening illness, a subsequent healing journey, and tons of life lessons learned along the way prove to me that anything is possible. Come along for the journey, and hopefully you will come away realizing your own power, and you are here for a reason too. You guys can see it there. And now, before wrapping up this video, I also want to read the first page of the book. Actually, the first chapter of the book, because it's a sneak preview that like I think will have you guys on the edge of your seats and wanting to read more.
I'm listening.
Especially for those of you who don't know my whole story. And trust me, even for those of you who may think you know my whole story, until you guys actually read this book, you guys may think you know all about me, but like this book is going to have the complete emotions, words, thoughts, and everything that will hopefully help to complete your understanding of me, who I am, what I'm all about. So first off, the goals for sharing my story. As you read my story, I feel that it's important to tell you my hopes for sharing. I hope that you can use this for strength when times get tough. Remember to keep fighting and to never give up. Never give up on your dreams, never give up on your loved ones, and most importantly, never give up on yourself and your life. We all have a purpose in this world, and I know that at times our visions can get clouded and it seems impossible to see it, but we have to keep moving forward and understand that setbacks can serve as the springboards for our major comebacks. I know that for me, whether consciously or unconsciously, whenever I experience a difficult situation or I am embarking on a challenge, I think, are there comparable situations that others have gone through, even though every situation and every individual is different? Or is there a quote out there or someone's words that can help me get through this? I want this story to serve as your inspiration. Anything is possible, and I am proof. When the doctors say you might not make it, and then when you do, that you might never recover completely, when others tell you that your dreams are too big, when others tell you that you were too small to achieve athletic feats, and when the world provides you with seemingly insurmountable circumstances to keep living, remember me and my story. When the world tells you to give up, refer to this. And when you don't think you can keep going, remember that your story is not over until you win.
Say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Next, the need to express myself. A lot of what I went through during the most challenging times was unseen by others. It was beneath the surface. So when I would tell people who didn't know about me how I was healing from these massive health issues, they would look at me and say, well, you look great. But that wasn't the whole story. You never really know what someone is going through just based on the outside. Also, when these difficult times leave us scarred, these scars can be visible or invisible. Nevertheless, they remain in our brains and subconsciously become part of who we are. We will always remember what happened to us and what we had to go through and what we had to get through to achieve our success. The unseen can be just as, if not more, painful and difficult. Be understanding of all and realize that you may never know what someone is really going through inside, but we can always be kind and help others when it is needed. I love getting feedback and people telling me that my experiences, videos, or my writing helped them get through their own challenges, or that it helped them get started on their goals, or even just that it injected some positivity into their day. If I did any of that in this book, then I feel I did my job. And oftentimes I'll look back on my words and people's comments on a post of mine, or old text messages when I need a spark to get back up when I'm feeling down. My words hold me accountable. In times when I don't feel good, I remember what I tell others, and that gets me through. I hope to always be a positive influence in the lives of others. Also guys, I also did all the formatting, I did all the designing for it, all the writing obviously, all the designs for the covers, etc, etc. I did it all my way.
That's me, baby. That's me. I did that.
And this is someone who didn't have any prior experience when it came to writing a book, or when it came to making videos. So if I could do all this, you guys could do anything too. So now, this is going to be the last part of the video. I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview of what's to come. Chapter 1. I think the only right way to tell the story of my life is to give you a sneak peek of the most life-changing event in it. Let's start with a bit of backstory. In August of 2014, I was on my way to Cornell University after a grueling senior year of high school, followed by one of the most amazing summers of my life. At the camp where I worked, I met the people who would later on become my best friends. We shared so many amazing times, and everything just went so perfectly. I said my goodbyes to the incredible summer and took the long car ride up to Ithaca, where I was ready to embark on a new journey into college life. Shortly after arriving, I made my way around campus, first visiting the gym and getting into some pickup basketball games and intense workouts. I was meeting new people and starting my rigorous coursework as a nutrition science major. Once I got settled in, it was the same routine as it had been back in high school. I was waking up as early as the gym opened after hearing my motivational song coming through my alarm. That meant it was time to get out there and put that work in, starting with my 6:30 a.m. basketball workouts and afternoon weightlifting sessions. As soon as the alarm went off, I was on the move, trying to make the most of every minute of my life. One big goal I had coming in was to walk onto the Cornell basketball team. I knew this would be a challenge, but I never accepted limits and always believed anything was possible and would do whatever it took. My high school AAU coach put in a good word to the Cornell coach, and I was going to work my butt off to be as ready as ever for a tryout. He suggested that I first try out for the club team as a way for me to inform the Cornell coach how I match up against other top players at the school. Now keep in mind that at a D1 school, there are a lot of great athletes who don't play for the varsity teams. So the tryout consisted of many D3 and maybe even some D2 level players. When tryout started, it felt as if everything was in slow motion and all was moving in my favor. I didn't miss a shot the entire tryout. I made 11 for 11 3-pointers, and every time I shot the ball, the other players would yell out cash or money and then splash, nothing but net. I called my parents at night to let them know how incredible the tryout went. This was all happening 3 weeks into my first ever college semester. It seemed that all my years of dedication and long hours of hard work and everything I set out to do was going to produce the results I wanted. At the time, I held the belief that sleep was time wasted, so I had to constantly be working. Then boom, it hit me like a freight train. Next thing I know, I'm in a coma, intubated and on a ventilator with a feeding tube, unable to move and unable to speak at all, fighting for my life. You're probably wondering how I got here. And there you have it. It's going to be up to you guys to read the rest. Please do all you can. If you guys like my content, if you guys like what I'm all about, please, I hope you guys buy the book. It's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly inspirational. I'm not just saying this because I wrote it, but I really think this book has the power to change lives. I know everything I went through to write it, but also having lived through this, and I know that you guys, for anyone who actually reads the book, you guys are going to be blown away.
I am blown away
and I think you guys are going to be inspired, and I think you guys are going to walk away having a newfound belief in yourselves and everything that you can accomplish. Writing this book and getting it out there was anything but easy, but also, as I've learned time and time again, the challenges are actually what makes it all worth it in the end. And when you ultimately get to that point where you actually overcome and when you achieve that success, it all makes it feel that much better. So guys, this part of the video wasn't planned, but I do have a very interesting update to share with you guys. My Amazon KDP account, after weeks of working on it, trying to get the book out to be released, it was terminated without warning and without a chance to even defend myself. They essentially sent me 2 emails back to back, which were actually full of some lies, as I'll have up on the screen. I didn't violate any rules. I have the copyright. Everything in the book is my own words. Of course, I do some quotes in there. Like, there's definitely something sinister going on there. Now, I don't want to speculate too much as to what the reason is. And of course, Amazon sends me this vague explanation, which wasn't even true. And when I tried replying, I didn't get any response. I actually had a lawyer try to contact their legal team with no response. So let's turn the tables back on them, because I'm the type of guy who, when life hands me lemons, I turn it into apple juice and leave everyone wondering how I did it. And thankfully, in the meantime, I've been working on Ingram Sparks, which is another website to self-publish my book. And I also decided to make a website for the book, which you guys can find the link to. And you guys can purchase the book there. Press on the link. Please support me. Please help me out. Because I will say that now I need your help and support more than ever in getting my book out there. Anyways, I apologize for having to add this part in, but it was obviously important. That fire has been lit within me, and they can't stop me no matter how hard they try. So guys, the day is finally here at the time of filming this final part of the video that I was waiting on. I initially filmed the rest of the video probably a few weeks in advance, expecting the book was actually going to be ready by then. But as you guys know, if you've been following my social media, I've had to overcome plenty of obstacles to finally releasing this book. But as of today, this is July 2nd, the official first copy of the book has arrived. Tell me how beautiful this looks. I think it looks incredible. I'm so happy it finally came. And so hopefully now all those obstacles and all those struggles to getting this book out are in the past, are in the rear view. And now we can move ahead to actually getting you guys to read it. So, to buy the book, the best and easiest way to purchase is to go to my website, jaredryanweiss.com. That is JaredRyanWeiss.com. I'll have the link everywhere basically, and I prefer it if you guys use the first link to buy it, although of course you are welcome to use any of the links I have posted on the website, or you guys could search for it on Google or wherever you guys get your books. It should be everywhere. And although, as I mentioned, my Amazon KDP account was terminated for reasons which I still have no idea because no one gave me any warning.
I'm banned!
You're banned.
And I wasn't able to get any legitimate explanation in spite of trying to appeal and trying to send them everything that I thought they needed. But I just have to keep rolling with the punches. So anyways, the most recent update is that in spite of having my Amazon KDP account get terminated, the book is actually still up on Amazon as one of the options, thanks to Ingram Spark actually getting it onto their website. However, as I just said, the preferred way for me, and probably the best way for you guys, will be to order directly through me, through my first link. But once again, you guys can order from my main Ingram Spark link, you guys can order from Barnes & Noble, you guys can order from Amazon. Wherever you guys want to order from is fine with me. But the first link is going to benefit me and you the most, I think. Anyways, it's honestly such a blessing for me to share my writing, to share my whole story with you guys. So I would really appreciate it so much if you guys could get the word out there. Share it with a friend, share it with a family member who needs some inspiration, who needs a super powerful story. I got it for you right here. Fight Through It by Jared Weiss. As I spoke about during the main part of this video, I truly hope and believe that this could be the most powerful book that you guys ever read. Remember, go to jaredryanweiss.com to buy the book, to find all my links. I will catch you guys in the next video. And for those of you who have received the book and want to tag me in it, I'd really appreciate that. Share it. I appreciate all the support, and I appreciate everyone who helped turn this vision into a reality. I couldn't have done it without all your help. It's truly a blessing and an honor. And now we're finally back to putting out awesome content. So hope you guys are ready for the awesome videos to come back. Let's get it. Finally, this big weight is off my back, and I'm so relieved and so beyond happy. I'm honestly at a loss of words right now, but I know that everything that's happened has happened for a reason, and sometimes we don't know the reason in the moment, but I know that all the obstacles I had to overcome to put this book out there will be worth it. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, and then we'll catch you guys in the next one. The book is out. I will be providing the link in the description, as well as I will be posting about it more often. So anyways, love you guys. Much love. You guys can do anything is possible. If I could write a book, having gone through everything I have, you guys can do anything too. I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay positive, stay hustling, stay grinding. Peace.